I realized, like, maybe around when I was, like, in my late 20s, early 30s, I was like, you're not growing. You're not going to grow.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. So the moment I learned to accept, it's not a bad thing. But that was the turning point for me. That's when I was like, oh, okay, so now I need to make the most of this. So you get lemons, you turn it into lemonade.
Yes.
And that's what I've done. Like, I'm just like, okay, how can I make the most of my situation and make it the best situation as possible?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest. You might recognize her from all kinds of amazing shows and amazing work. I would like to introduce to you Miss Ali Chapman. Ali, how does it feel to be in Soho House tonight?
Well, it's always a vibe here, so
cheers.
I'm glad to be back.
And it's great to have you, and thank you so much for coming on the show. We have so much cool stuff to talk about, and you're one of the hardest working entertainers in Hollywood that I personally know. You're always working. In fact, I've been trying to get you in here for like 2-3 months now, and you're always on a gig. You're always doing crazy stuff. So I can't wait to ask you some questions so the audience can get to know you a little better. Yeah. Then I want to kind of take your journey and turn it into like something to inspire and motivate our audience. Okay. And then I would love to hear all about everything that you're working on next, because I know you got a bunch of cool stuff going. So before I jump too much into it, tell the audience a little bit about where you're from and how you ended up in Hollywood.
Okay, yeah. Well, I am actually from the Midwest. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yes.
Indiana.
Midwest in the house. Cheers to that.
Yes, cheers.
Got a drink to the Midwest?
Yes. I've been here in LA for 10 years.
Wow.
10 years. I came out here because I had an opportunity a very, very long time ago, 2007 to be exact, and I was living in Indiana at the time, and I had the awesome opportunity of being a body double and a stand-in for Will Smith's daughter in the movie I Am Legend.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little person. I'm 3'8", and what they needed from me is they needed a little person to be his daughter, Willow. She was 6 at the time. I think she's like 21, 22 now.
Yeah.
So time has flown.
They hang out here, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they needed someone to be her stand-in and her body double. So that's like a story for another time, how I actually got that job living in Indiana. I was working at a leasing office as like a leasing agent. I was renting out apartments, blah, blah, blah. But I stumbled upon a ad on the internet.
No
and,
way.
Yeah, and I answered it, and it ended up being legit. Long story short, I flew out to New York. I lived in New York for about 6 weeks, and I proceeded to be her body double stand-in. So after doing that role, having that amazing opportunity, working very closely one-on-one with the family in the movie, it inspired me. Like, I got back home to Indiana, and I went back to my regular jobs, and I just was like, I think I want to be an actress, but like, I don't want to be a body double. I don't want to be a stand-in. I want to be myself.
Yeah.
Like, forefront, speaking lines, all of that. So a couple years later, I was like, you know what? Life is short. Time is of the essence. Like, just move to LA.
Yeah.
You have no money. You have no plan. Just go and it'll all work out. So I made it till I landed in LA, and ever since then, I've done some things, and it's all worked out.
Yeah, and I think you've just had a fascinating career. So tell the audience who might not know all the details about you, because part of this is going to be audio. Some people are going to be listening. Some people are going to be watching. They'll probably recognize you.
Okay, great.
What are like 2 or 3 of the projects you're proudest of in the past decade that you've been out here in LA?
Okay. Oh, in LA. Okay,
or just in the entertainment business, some projects you've done that you're really excited about being a part of.
Yeah, of course. Well, I did 2 reality shows, and I also did a one-time role on a major TV show. So I'll tell you what those things are. I did the reality show I did was a show called Freakshow, and I'm not super big on reality, not gonna lie, but because it was on AMC and then it later on went to Netflix, I feel like those are 2 networks that are really like...
No, AMC is really legit.
Oh, so legit. Like, I was already watching Walking Dead, and then to end up like on the network while that show was running. I mean, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, but it was like amazing just to be on there. And then the show later got sold to Netflix. So I went to 2 different major networks, which was great. Yeah, and then
you're like a main character in that show too, right?
Yeah, I was one of the main characters.
What was some of the stuff that they had you doing on the show?
Well, that show was actually based on a show that I was. So the show was based off of the show in Venice Beach.
Okay.
On the boardwalk, there used to be a show called the Freakshow, and it was a live show. You could walk in. And you could see sword swallowers, fire eaters.
Yeah, and here, just to set the preference, I mean, it was called Freakshow, which sounds really abrasive.
Right.
But it's actually like a show about people with like these really crazy talents and really kind of unique abilities and looks and stuff. It's not really like a circus show.
No.
That was very popular in Venice Beach.
It was
I
very
wanted to preface
popular.
that.
Yeah, and the creator, Todd, hi Todd, he
probably is a member here too.
Oh, right, yeah, I don't doubt that. He, a lot of people thought, they heard the word freak show and thought, oh, you're exploiting these people. I mean, because there were little people there were people with like odded, different things about them that people thought, oh, you're making fun of it. But once you came to the live show and saw, no, we're not making fun of you. We're celebrating your differences. And that, we're celebrating, it's all about embracing these people that are different, So we got like such a fan base. And so from the live show, that's when AMC came to us and offered us a show on their network.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we only did 2 seasons. I'm not sure why, because it was a huge hit. I mean, and it was in many countries. We had literally people from all over the world that came to the live show to be like, we watched you on TV and we had to come here and meet you in person. Yeah. Yeah, so that was great. So I was on that show, and then I was also, I did Little Women of LA. Now, I mean, I'm proud of it, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not big on drama reality show, like people fighting. Yeah. They wanted me to get on there and fight with a bunch of other little women.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Well, you can whoop some ass, I bet.
Yeah. So I only lasted 3 episodes on that.
Oh, okay.
I just don't like to fight. I like to inspire, encourage, and be supportive. So whatever. And then I did a great show called, and I'm very proud of this work. It's a show called Better Things. You either know it or you don't know the show.
Better Things. Okay.
Yeah, it's the #1 show on FX.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Pamela Aldun is the star of it, the creator. I had a one-on-one scene with her, which she's been in everything.
Okay.
So I'm very proud of that scene that I did with her. Still getting residual checks.
Good for you. And that was on Hulu too, wasn't it?
Yes, it is on Hulu right now.
I've seen you on there, so we'll drink to that. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. So those are the things I'm most proud of that I've accomplished here while in LA. So.
Well, you're crushing it. Like I said, you're one of the hardest working people that I've met in television and entertainment. And the time is flying by, and I really wanted to use some of the time because you have an incredible story, and a lot of people in LA are so insecure. But here you are, and I think you're perfect just how you are. And I think you're so cool and so confident. But I'm sure there was a journey, right? Like because we all have things that we're insecure about. I'm insecure about my hair. And coming to Hollywood, it'll make you really insecure. Social media makes you really doubt yourself. Yes. So what are some things that you can maybe tell the audience here? This is creators, artists, entrepreneurs. What are some things that you can share about your journey or what you do to kind of turn what you think might be a disadvantage into an asset?
Yes. Well, I just think it's very important, no matter who you are, what you look like, whatever, to instead of seeing that as like a insecurity or like something that hinders you, see it as something that is positive. Basically, like I'm a woman. I'm a woman of color. I am 3 feet 8 inches tall. That is it.
Yes. Yep.
And you're right. Hollywood. Okay, so Hollywood, there's all these beautiful blondes with like big boobs and like, butts and like, just like gorgeous glamour, and then here I am, like, could not be complete opposite, and so that could be enough to be like, oh my God, I don't fit in. Like, I'm not like the rest of them. I need to go hide under a rock. But instead of doing that, like, I don't know, it took me a while to get to where I'm super confident and I love myself and I wouldn't want to be anyone else. But it took a while to get there. And I don't know how to really tell anyone how to get there, but you do have to get there because life is short and, we are who we are. Like, So now that I have embraced this and I love this, I instead of like I'll walk into a party, like a Hollywood party or whatever, or an event, and no one looks like me. Everyone's like just like, whatever, just like bombshells. But you know
you're
what?
a little bombshell. You're a little bullet.
I'm a little bombshell now. But no,
Yeah.
I just you know what? Okay, so like a lot of us get like tattoos or we dye our hair a certain color to try to be a
stand
unusual
out.
or stand out. I don't have to do that. I just walk out of my house and already like I'm on, But I mean, and I don't say that to brag or anything like that, but it's just I don't know. Like I chimed in and I realized that what I always grew up to think that what would hold me back, just like, I don't know. Now I realize that it's the thing that's going to help me. And,
So, do you feel that authenticity is really important into making it out here?
It's key. It's key. Yeah. Be yourself. Be your true self, and don't be afraid of who you are. And it's crazy to me that even like I'll see like models that like gorgeous, but they're like insecure, and I don't understand, because I'm like, if I can be confident, and this isn't a put down to me,
no,
but if someone like me can be super confident and love myself and be happy, then everyone should be that way,
Absolutely.
And so yeah, you just be like literally. Your personality, I feel like, is your best asset. Yes. And like personality, like you could find someone that maybe isn't like necessarily attractive, but their personality makes them the best looking person in the room, So
well, I have a saying. I have two sayings, and I want to talk to you about both of them, even though we're just 3 minutes left, believe it or not.
Oh wow!
But one of the things that I like to convey is that I'm grateful for everything.
Yes.
And everything is a gift and an opportunity. And I really feel like you're very grateful, and that's one of the things I think is so cool about you, is that there's so many people who complain about what they don't have. The girls that complain, oh, my boobs aren't big enough, my hair extensions aren't good enough. Yes. And they're just blocking all their opportunities. But here you are, instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're saying, look at all that I do have.
Yeah.
And then you're turning that into an amazing career. So that's why I root for you so much. And then another thing that I really wanted to, that I convey a lot to artists and entrepreneurs that are going through things mentally, is I like to talk about turning disappointments into destiny.
Okay.
So maybe if you were just even 9 or 10 inches taller, you wouldn't have the incredibly successful career you have today. Oh, yeah. So how do you feel about like turning things in your life that maybe you thought were negative into something positive? And give us maybe 30 seconds.
Real quickly, I just, I realized like maybe around when I was like in my late 20s, early 30s, I was like, you're not growing. You're not going to grow. Like, this is it. So the moment I learned to accept, it's not a bad thing, but that was the turning point for me. That's when I was like, oh, okay, so now I need to make the most of this. So you get lemons, you turn it into lemonade. Yes. And that's what I've done. Like, I'm just like, okay, how can I make the most of my situation and make it the best situation as possible?
Well, you've done an amazing job. And now we've got about a minute left.
Okay.
I'd love to hear about what you're working on next and where our audience can connect with you. So you're at Ali Chapman on Instagram?
No, Instagram, I'm Miss, M-I-S-S, Amazing Ali, A-L-I.
Miss Amazing Ali on Instagram.
Miss Amazing Ali.
You got to follow her. She's got all kinds of great stuff, and you can check out all her TV shows on there. And then I heard you have a little one-woman show coming up. Are you allowed to talk about that?
I have. So Hollywood has done this thing that someone like me, it's really hard to get booked in as like a doctor or a nurse on a TV show, because as little people, they always want to make us characters like a bear, an elf, a leprechaun, whatever. Yeah.
Yes, it sounds funny, but it's
true. Like Hollywood wants to pigeonhole someone like me. I can't just be a person on TV, like whatever. So I've decided, okay, now is the time I create my own opportunity.
Amazing.
Yes. So I have just hired a director. I have started co-writing my own show. It is going to be a live show. I'm going to be on stage. The name of the show is going to be called Smaller Than Your Average.
Wow.
Yeah. And, it's going to be in October. Hopefully, after I do the premiere of this live show, hopefully more people will like it. Maybe I can go on tour.
Oh, we're going to make that happen. We're going to make that happen,
okay,
Ali.
Can we?
Absolutely. So, guys, this is The Amazing Ali on Instagram. This has been another episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. Make sure you check her out on Instagram. And, guys, thanks for tuning in every week. We want to thank our sponsor, TryCarrot.com. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to our latest episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you'd like to know how you can support us, I invite you to check out one of our affiliate partners, Try Carrot. Carrot is an influencer black card. It's the first charge card and credit card that's built around underwriting your social media audience in order to approve you for your credit limit. It's really cool and really innovative financially. And on top of that, the black card gives you access to some amazing events. Like they did a casino night in downtown LA. They do all kinds of influencer support groups and influencer opportunities. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're an influencer or you're an entrepreneur that is active on social media and you would like to check out a really cool credit card or charge card, I got approved for up to $15,000. You can apply for free at influencerblackcard.com. So again, if you enjoyed the episode tonight and you'd like to learn how you can support us without having to spend any money at all, you can apply for free. I invite you to check out influencerblackcard.com. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Vito Glazers, and I can tell you all about it.